Everyone thinks the journey to their first 100K is a math problem. They're wrong. The spreadsheets, the savings rates, the compound interest charts, they are all just a map of a country you have yet to survive. The real battle happens somewhere else entirely, in the territory behind your own eyes. Smart people argue this point with fury, one side claiming it's pure numbers, the other insisting it's pure psychology. Where do you stand? By the end of this, you might change your mind. The argument for pure mechanics is simple. It's seductive. It is clean. You take your income. You subtract your expenses. The remainder is your savings. Invest that remainder consistently over a period of time, and thanks to the beautiful, unfeeling logic of compound interest, you will arrive at $100,000, a 5% return, a 15% savings rate, a predictable number of years. It's a formula. It works on paper every single time, for anyone. The math is the same for a surgeon as it is for a plumber. It has no opinion about your childhood. It feels nothing. It just works. Think about it like building a wall. Each dollar saved is a brick. Your income is the supply of bricks, and your savings rate is how fast you lay them. The goal is a wall of a certain height. Lay enough bricks, and you will get there. This perspective is empowering because it feels controllable. It suggests the only variables are effort and time. If you're falling short, the diagnosis is simple. Your income is too low, your spending is too high, your savings rate is weak. The solution? Get more bricks or lay them faster. There are 1,000 financial gurus who will sell you this blueprint. And the blueprint is accurate. That sounds convincing. But there's a problem. We are the ones laying the bricks. And we are tired, we are distracted, and we are deeply, profoundly irrational. The blueprint says to lay 100 bricks a day, but on Tuesday, a friend calls about a last-minute trip. On Thursday, you get a bonus and suddenly feel an intense primal need for a new watch. On Saturday, you feel the crushing weight of deprivation and order the most expensive thing on the menu because you deserve it. The blueprint is perfect. The builder is human. The clean math of finance breaks down the moment it meets the messy reality of human emotion. This is where the psychological war begins. Your brain is a machine built for survival in the ancient past. It is wired to prioritize immediate reward over distant, abstract concepts like financial security in 8 years. Eating the berry now feels better than planting the seed for a future harvest. That impulse is running on hardware that is hundreds of thousands of years old. Your compound interest spreadsheet is running on software that is about 50. Which one do you think has more control over your decisions in a moment of weakness? This is the core of the fight. Every dollar you try to save is a direct confrontation with your own animal brain. Imagine this. You get a $2,000 raise. The math version of you instantly calculates the accelerated timeline to your goal. That money is already invested, already compounding in the spreadsheet. But the human version of you feels the pull of lifestyle inflation. It's the voice that whispers, "You've worked so hard for this. What's the point of earning more if your life doesn't feel any better?" This voice is powerful. It speaks the language of feeling, of relief, of social status. It points out that your friends are all going on vacation, that your car is getting old, that you're tired of saying no, and it makes a compelling case. The war is a daily negotiation between the person you want to become and the person you are right now. Critics of this psychological view have a sharp counterpoint. They argue that focusing on feelings is a dangerous form of excuse-making. It reframes a lack of discipline as a complex emotional problem. It allows people to say, "I can't save because of my scarcity mindset," instead of the harder truth, "I spend too much on things I don't need." From this perspective, psychology is a comfortable blanket to hide under when the cold, hard numbers get uncomfortable. They would say that discipline is the muscle that bridges the gap between your human impulses and your rational goals. And that muscle only gets stronger through use. And yet, even the most disciplined person has a finite amount of willpower. Every single day, you make hundreds of decisions. Each one chips away at your resolve. The decision to skip the $5 coffee. The decision to pack a lunch. The decision to ignore a sale. The decision to tell your friends you can't join them for an expensive dinner. By the time you get home from work, your decision-making faculty is exhausted. This is called ego depletion. And it's at this moment, when your defenses are lowest, that you're most vulnerable to the impulsive spending that sabotages your entire plan. So is it really a lack of discipline? Or is it a battle you are architecting to be unwinnable? This reveals a deeper truth. The most effective financial systems are the ones designed to bypass willpower altogether. This is where mechanics and psychology finally meet. Automating your savings, for example, is a mechanical solution to a psychological problem. You make one difficult decision, one time, to automatically transfer 20% of your paycheck into a separate account. Then, the system takes over. The money is gone before you even have a chance to miss it. You have removed your flawed, emotional, easily fatigued self from the equation. You are using the rigid logic of machines to protect you from your own human nature. This isn't about having more discipline. It's about needing less. Consider the power of a simple budget. A budget isn't a tool for restriction, it's a tool for pre-decision. You decide, in a calm, rational moment, how much you will allocate to housing, food, and entertainment. You are making the decision for your future, impulsive self. When the weekend comes and you're tempted to overspend, the decision is already made. You're simply executing a plan created by a smarter, more disciplined version of you, the you from last Tuesday. You created a system of personal rules. That system removes the constant draining psychological warfare of daily choices. The mechanics are serving the psychology, but this elegant solution has its own dark side. What happens when the system you build to get you to 100K takes over your identity? The habits required to claw your way from zero to your first major milestone are brutal. They demand frugality. They demand sacrifice. They demand a level of risk aversion that sees every expense as a threat. You become the person who says no. You become the person who optimizes for cost above all else. You become a saver, and that identity is your armor in the war to 100,000. The problem is that the person who gets you to 100,000 is the wrong person to get you to 1,000,000. The psychology has to shift. A pile of cash sitting in a savings account is safe. It feels good. It represents thousands of victorious skirmishes against impulse, but it's also dead. It's losing value to inflation every single day. The saver's mindset, which views the preservation of capital as the ultimate goal, becomes a cage. To grow, that money needs to be put at risk. It needs to be invested in assets that have volatility. The saver must become an investor, and that requires an entirely different psychological profile. The fear is immense. The very act of investing feels like a betrayal of the identity that got you here. For years, your goal was to accumulate, to protect, to build the wall brick by brick. Now, you're being told to take a chunk of that wall and throw it into the market, where it could lose 20% of its value in a month. Every cell in your body that you trained to scream danger at a $50 dinner now screams danger at a $5,000 investment. You have to actively fight the very instincts you spent years carefully cultivating. It's a profound psychological whiplash. You see this in people who reach their number and can't change their behavior. They are the millionaires who still drive across town to save 3 cents on a gallon of gas. Their net worth changed. Their mental software didn't. They are running a program called Achieve Scarcity-Driven Security, but the program is finished. It keeps running anyway, consuming their mental energy and preventing them from running a new one-deploy capital for growth. The discipline that was once a tool has become a pathology. The armor has fused to their skin. It's a victory that feels strangely like a prison. This is the final battle in the war for your first $100K. It's winning the war and then having the wisdom to declare peace. It's recognizing that the set of beliefs and behaviors that got you to the summit of the first mountain are useless for climbing the next one. You have to learn to spend money strategically on things that buy back your time or increase your earning potential. You have to learn to stomach risk, to see market downturns as opportunities. You have to give yourself permission to enjoy the wealth you've built. The frugal warrior has to evolve into a thoughtful general. So what does this all mean for you right now? It means that the numbers on the spreadsheet are just the score. They tell you if you're winning or losing, but they don't tell you how to fight. The fight is against the part of you that craves instant comfort. It's against the social pressure to signal status you haven't truly earned. And, most subtly, it's against the identity of the struggling saver that can become so comfortable you're afraid to let it go. Building wealth is an act of becoming a different person, a person who can delay gratification, a person who can build systems to defeat their own worst impulses, and finally, a person who knows when to stop fighting. So where do you draw the line? At what point do the habits of discipline and frugality stop serving you and start costing you? If the person you are today is not the person who can achieve your goals, you have to change. But what happens when you reach those goals and realize you have to change all over again?